Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about recovery. Because this is what you're in when you go no contact. When you're initially going no contact, and typically for quite some time after that, you are in recovery. Recover. So what's going to be happening in recovering? You're going to be rebuilding yourself, recouping yourself, resting. You're going to get some healing, mental healing, psychological healing, physically healing. Recovery, especially early on, it's rough. Think about it. When you first come out of a surgery, you've been operated on. The issue is fixed. The cancer was taken out of you. The tumor is taken out of you. You've had the blood transfusion. You've gotten the new organ, all this stuff. Now your body has to recuperate. It has to heal from that surgery. You were in that relationship with the narcissist and you had some experiences. Consider those experiences a form of an operation. Because now you're going to take those experiences so that you can become more enlightened, you can become more aware, you can become stronger, but you have to heal from those experiences. They opened your eyes to some things that you may not have realized about yourself, about other people, about the world, about human nature. Now you have to take all of that, you have to process it. And when you're processing it, the parts of it that, all of it was directly happening to you, so you're going to have to process your emotions, your feelings. And then some of you may have some literal physical scars that you can look at on your body. Sexually transmitted diseases. Some of them were curable and some of them weren't. People have reached out to me about getting STDs that weren't curable, something they're going to have to live with and manage for the rest of their life as a result of being with this somatic narcissist or this reckless narcissist that probably looked them in the eyes and said, yeah, of course, all my medical is up to date because it sounds good and they care about image, but they'll lie to protect that image. And now you're in a jam because you took their word for it and you trusted them with their body, with your body. And this could even be within a marriage. This isn't always just someone out here that's single and sleeping around or bed hopping. People marry narcissists and get betrayed. But now you're in recovery. And we all know when we're first healing from a surgery, it gets worse before it gets better. As a matter of fact, when you going under surgery, they're putting you to sleep. You're not feeling a lot of that stuff that's really happening. You can't really feel it all until after you wake up, okay? After you wake up and that medication wears off, now you're going to begin to really feel what was going on with you. And you're going to be tender and you're going to be sore. You're going to feel like you're in a fragile state. That is normal. You've made a major life change in removing this toxic person. And some of you have been with that person for a very long time. So they've been operating on you for a very long time. You have a lot to recover from. So we have to be realistic about what we're going to be expecting in that recovery process early on. It's going to feel rough. It's going to hurt. It's going to be painful. I can't think of one surgery that I've had in my life that I didn't have some tenderness and I had to take it easy and I wasn't sore and fragile in the beginning. But I followed the doctor's orders. I did what I had to do in recovery so that I could get to a point where it could be healed. And now it doesn't hurt anymore. I'm not sore anymore. I'm not fragile anymore. But that came with time, and it came with doing the proper things to heal myself from whatever that surgery was. And that is what it's going to be when you're healing from narcissistic abuse. It's rough at first. You're breaking a toxic pattern. Consider it a person that's going off a crack. Do you see what happened to babies who were in a mother's womb that was taking crack and they come out? It's rough. They even have to give them certain type of drugs to wean them off of that feeling of crack. We can consider that them times when you going back in for them hoovers because it's hard for you to break it. But usually people will see their progression that it's getting shorter and shorter and smaller. Their relationships with narcissists aren't lasting as long because their spirit is starting to get stronger than the flesh. Okay? But I wanted to make this video, guys, because yes, you are fighting. You are going to be fighting. This is a form of spiritual warfare. Yes, it is. Yes, you've come into contact with someone who had a very dark, negative energy around them. And it's been all up and through your essence for far too long. And yes, you have to cleanse yourself of this. You have to detox. This is going to be a part of that kind of recovery. Yes, you do. But it's not going to feel very pleasant at first because you're cleaning all types of filthiness out of you, if you will. And it's hard to break a habit that you have been doing for so long. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to feel impossible. It's going to feel shitty. And then on top of that, they're just skipping off into la la land. And then usually there are new things being added on top of it because of that. Our ego is bruised. Our heart is further broken. But with understanding, we can heal from that and understand what's going on. And that's why I'm making all these videos to help you guys connect the dots. Because more than anything, narcissistic abuse and the survivors, it's really about mental. We get our mental correct. We get our mentality corrected. We get our perceptions corrected. We can start working on our behaviors and our mannerisms. Because our behaviors and our mannerisms are stemming from what? Our mental. Our mental. Our mentalities and our perceptions are guiding what we're actually doing, what we're physically doing. So once we get a hold of our minds and get that right and get that cleaned up, naturally what you do is going to fall into place with that. Okay, that's why you can go on a diet all day long and go work out all day long, but if mentally you still haven't broken your attachments and your perceptions to how you should be eating, what you should be eating, when you should be eating, how much. If you haven't figured that part out, it's going to continuously sabotage your workouts. Okay, so you got to start with your mentality and your perceptions. If you're feeling like, something's being taken away from me. I can't eat this junk food. I can't eat whatever I want. I can't pig out. Oh, that's horrible. I got to deny myself, as opposed to those are empty calories. Those aren't serving my body. It's not helping me. My body can't extract much goodness out of that. It's countering my actual goals and agendas and what I want to do. I'm going to find some healthier foods that I can enjoy to eat that aren't going to counter me. And be happy and thankful to eat those. because they're actually serving my best interest in helping me. But recovery, guys, recovery. We have to work on our mentalities and our perceptions. Okay? We feel like we've suffered this, I think a lot of times, some people do feel like they've suffered that loss of the narcissist. Yes, they do. They do. But then other people, it's the loss of everything else. They feel like they lost themselves. They lost some money. They lost material things. They feel like they lost some of their reputation. So, and many things. Some people feel like they've lost family members, children. They lost a chunk of their life and time that they can't get back that they spent with this toxic person. But we can do better. We'll just say it that way. We can do better when we know better. And yes, in recovery, we're realizing some things that may not be so pretty. They may not be so pretty. But it's important to realize these things as we're evolving and growing to the next level of our consciousness. And I was telling somebody this morning, ignorance is not really bliss. It's not really bliss. Not really. Imagine if you still didn't know about narcissistic abuse and you were just stuck in the cycle of dating narcissists for the rest of your life. Okay, will that love bomb phase give you the illusion of happiness and blissfulness, right? But it's short-lived compared to everything else that comes with it. So we step out of that ignorance and we understand the full picture of things, then we could actually be in a healthy relationship that can be consistently and stable and actually sincerely loving and in our best interest. Is any relationship perfect? No. Are relationships with narcissistic people, do they not have any problems or anything? Absolutely they do, because no two human beings are perfect. Okay? They can be good for each other. They still have things that they're going to have to compromise on and work on. But nobody's going to be soul raping you and damaging you in your core values and disrespecting you on the lowest of levels and dishonoring you in your essence. So we have to just understand we're going through a recovery process. And this isn't an overnight thing. This isn't an overnight thing. It's going to take some time. But immerse yourself into the things that are going to serve you, to positive things. Listening to the videos, that's great. Getting yourself personal therapy, that's great. Learning what you can. Practicing self-love. Balancing your life out. All the way around. With the things you eat. Staying hydrated. Sleeping. Exercising. Making sure that you're finding things to appreciate in each day. Find reasons to smile and laugh. Forget about the people that don't love and care about you and embrace the ones that do. Eventually, you'll be able to have your energy open to receive additional people that will love and care about you as well when you're comfortable. But it's okay to spend time with yourself as well. I did that. I took 18 months. 18 months to myself. 18 months to myself. And it was time well spent. In our society, we have this thing about making people feel weird for being alone or quote unquote single or doing them. You need to be in your own lane anyway. You should always be in your own lane. No matter who you partner up with eventually, you're still you. You still have yourself. It's okay with taking time to just put into you. You need that after dealing with something that has depleted you, chances are. You need that. And that's when the real healing, the meat of my healing occurred then, when I took the time for myself. And recovery. And that's what you have to do. You have to nurse your wounds. You have to take care of it so you can mend these things. But yes, it's going to hurt, especially early on, and it will be uncomfortable. And it's hard to break patterns. It can be hard, but it's not impossible. And especially when you're realizing what's really going down here. So I want to make this video just to give a pep talk about recovery. Recovery. You being proactive, you choosing to go towards the positive side of things rather than wallowing in the negative is going to make all the difference. Engulf yourself. Does it mean that you won't be feeling some type of way still, or you won't have these moments and times? No, but it just means that you are matching it with positivity. You're listening to some positive music, if you're watching positive things on TV, if you're going into positive atmospheres, peaceful places, fresh air, don't minimize the importance of these things. Eating good food. Okay, aromatherapy, any type of therapy. I talked to one client and I was really proud of him. He was trying all types of therapies. He was so open-minded to just self-discovery and just doing everything that he could do to put into himself. He's taking time for himself and he has conversations with himself. Intelligent people do that. Crazy people do it too, but intelligent, more than not, intelligent people are doing this. Sometimes you got to give yourself that pep talk. Sometimes you got to correct that nasty negative thought that goes through your head. No, I don't receive that. So I hope this video is helping someone who's in the recovery or knows someone else that's in a recovery stage, and you could send this to them or be that soft place to fall for them. But you have to do the work for yourself. Because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You have to do the work for yourself. All right, guys? So if this video resonates with you, go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please feel free. Share any and all of my videos. Awareness. We need to have awareness. If you are interested in coaching, personal one-on-one coaching with me, I'm available to do that. Just email CoachLakia@gmail.com. I do voice calls, or basically a phone call. I do email, I do Skype, and I also do FaceTime on WhatsApp. Okay? You can go on LakiaCrawford.com and see the whole menu and see what you want to purchase. If you know you want to talk to me multiple times, buying bundles is going to save you money than buying one session at a time. I even have monthly memberships, okay? I have books on Barnes & Nobles. They will be just as healing or more as my videos. And they touch on aspects that I may not be bringing up on here. And if you, I also recommend that you read them in order. Start with the X Factor Volume 1, then the X Factor Volume 2, then The Beauty of the Eye. And then for those of you who have experienced sexual abuse in your life, I highly recommend my book, Silent Tears, that is written from survivor to another survivor. Because there's a lot of pamphlets with statistics, but this book is written on the sentimental end of the spectrum, so that I can address the psychological issues from someone who's been there and done that, okay? The things that statistics ain't going to help you with. Because it's good to be educated about those statistics, but once it's happened to you, it's done, okay? Now you need a warm embrace, and you need some healing as well in other areas. All right? So for all of you, I do wish you the best in your process. Continue to do the shadow work. Do whatever you have to do, and don't give up on yourself. It is not impossible. In the beginning, it's going to feel harsh. but you went through a harsh surgery, quote unquote. Okay? So please stay patient and bear with the process. Everything in life is a process. All right? Even if we're having a child, that takes almost a year. That child is in there growing. It's a process. That baby didn't just come. And sometimes the babies come premature, but then they have complications. So we don't want to rush the process, guys. Let it take its course, and you will get there. Everyone had to take their process. I just told you I took 18 months to myself. But look what it's done for me. And look what I'm able to give back to others. I have recovered. And now all that energy, all that wisdom, I can give it back to other people now because I took the proper steps. I took the proper channels. I see more than one therapist. Okay? I did anything that I felt like I needed to do in my healing process. And I showed myself the utmost of self-love, and I continue to do it to this day. I've learned how to make that balance. Am I a perfect human being? Absolutely not. Do I know everything under the sun? Absolutely not. But what I do know, I'm willing to share it. And hopefully it helps you in your journey, okay? So until next time, guys, please take care.